Hi everyone and welcome to today's Larking adventure. We're back in the lovely location of my last video where we found some really lovely bottle finds. They were really quite spectacular, quite rare and quite local, so really enjoyed that. And we've come back because last time I was here I actually had a bit of a sprained ankle and I couldn't move about as much as I wanted to, so I didn't find any of the good stuff, and as you know I like to keep my eye out for pottery, so we've come back today. I'm much better now and I'm out and about a bit more, so we're going to start from the bottom as you can see and just sort of work our way up against the flow and just see what else we can find, what else this site has got to offer us. So we'll let you know what we can find. Okay, so I'm about to start heading up now, but I thought I'd just show you, a couple of you actually have mentioned since my last couple of videos, a glass bottomed bucket, which I didn't know was a thing until you said about it. So we have managed to make one. Here it is. We've had to just make it out of stuff that we've got, so it's just a glass dish sort of glued into the bottom of an old bucket that we had. But if you have a look, it actually is pretty good. So I can see things under the water that I wouldn't normally be able to view, because of the sort of flow of the water and the glare off the top and that sort of thing. So I'm going to be using this, and so is Ryan, as we go, just to kind of see if we can spot anything that we wouldn't normally be able to see. So hopefully that will help us to find some more exciting stuff today. So I'll let you know. So my first lovely pottery find of today is this nice, it looks like actually like a piece of tile, but look at that lovely green pattern on it. That's adorable, isn't it? A nice shape as well, so I'm pleased with that one. I think there's more pottery to be found, so it was only Ryan that came down this far last time and he picks out the sort of really obvious bits, but was more sort of distracted by the bottles that we found actually. So I'm going to have a good look out for pottery today and I'll let you know what I find. So we've had our first glass find of today as well. Look at this, this looks like an old jar, I'm guessing, although it's an interesting shape. I've never seen one sort of quite that shape before, and it has got a name on the top, so it says Gillard & Co Limited, London. There you go. So that's nice, isn't it? So I'm quite pleased with that one. Hopefully that's a sign that there's still more bottles and things to be found. So we've just got to this corner bit, which as you can see is sort of quite muddy and murky, and so it's more difficult for me to film as I'm looking on, but there's lots of interesting shapes in here. So I'm going to go in and see if they are actually as interesting as they look from the outside. Oh yeah, look, it is a bottle. Sometimes it's a bottle shape, but it's actually a stone. That's a nice one. I really like the shape of that one. I can't see any sort of name or anything on it. But hopefully this is a good sign. Oh look, it's actually got the lid on it. Isn't that odd? A little plastic lid. So yeah, that's nice. I wonder what's in it. That's a good find. And I think I can see more shapes of bottles in here. So Ryan's just going to go in for this one and see if it is. I might have to go by hand, I think. Oh no, look, there you go, you've got it. That's a good shape, isn't it? God, look at that. That's really heavy. That's a really nice shape, isn't it? What is that? Oh, it's blocked up. I'm not sure if it's meant to be. I can't see any names or anything on it, but I'm going to just take it upstream a little bit, try and clean it up, see if I can work out a bit more about it. So there's definitely more bottles to be found here, which is really exciting because the bottles that we found last time were great, so fingers crossed for some more like that. See you shortly. Oh look, it is pottery, the little bottom of a plate I'd say. Quite a bit of a glaze on it, so I can see lots of shards of things here, so I'm going to just keep pottering around to see what I can pull out. It's a stone, I think. And I think the bucket's going to be really helpful actually, because you can see that the movement on the top of the water is quite unhelpful in terms of being able to spot stuff straight away, so I'm going to get my bucket over and use that for a sec, and I'll keep going. So we have another bottle find. This one is glass, it's got a little plastic lid on it, look. So a lot of the bottles that we find here actually have still got their lids around, which is intriguing, isn't it? So I'm not sure why that might be. Let me know if you can think of any reason. And I've not really actually seen one like this before, this shape and this sort of top on it. So I'm not sure what I think it is. Not a drink, it's got to be a food stuff surely with that sort of lid on it. Who knows what the contents are. I mean, hopefully it's river water. So yeah, there's still glass here, which is really exciting for me because I feel like I missed out on the best bottle finds last time, so I'm pleased to still be finding them. So look, here's an old glass jar that we found. I really like the sort of retro shape of this one actually. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Feels quite light. No name unfortunately. So we're obviously onto something here. It's obviously a pretty good location for bottle and glass finds. So I'm super pleased. Here's a nice shallow sort of shingly bit, which is my favourite sort of riverbed to look for pottery along. So I'm going to come in now to bring you with me. I will pick up some stones, of course, because I always do. Oh look, this is nice, isn't it? A little glazed piece. Broken pieces out the way. Oh look, it's a shell. See, isn't it? Oh look, it's got a little tiny, is that a shell? Oh no, it's the top of a castle or something, look. I love it when you can still see a little bit of the pattern. Something's painting at me there, look. I think it might just be a bit of wrapper, but yeah, look. Nothing. Thought it might have been gold. Come on, to look at that anyway. The plain piece. I do prefer the patterned pieces, but you never know what you might find, so okay, I'll head down a little bit further. I might bring my bucket and show you how that works, and we'll see what we can find. So I'm just on my way to hunt for a bit more pottery, but Ryan has found this lovely bottle. Look at the design of this one. I'm going to empty it out a second. Oh, it's just a bit of a blockage, I think. So you can see it's got just a lovely, lovely pattern on it. And it is actually an old Tizer bottle. How about that? So absolutely love that. That is going to look great in my collection. Love the design on it. It's going to need a good clean up, isn't it? So yeah, super pleased with that one. I think that's my favourite one of the day so far. There's another bottle find, but I'm not sure. We're divided about whether this is old or modern. There's the top of it, look. Oh, with the fly on it, how pleasant. And the shape is, I mean, surely it could be modern, but then we've just found loads of old bottles in the same place, so really don't know. Let me know what you think. You guys are usually pretty helpful at helping me age stuff and identify it, so there we go. I like finding old jars and things. We've just found this one, which is a super sort of king size version of this, which says WP Hartley's Liverpool and London with that trademark on the bottom, but unfortunately It's just got a chink out the side, quite a big chink you might say, but I've never seen one that size before actually, so still quite pleased with that find. Shame it wasn't entirely complete. So I found a few interesting pieces that I'll just catch you up on. So the first thing was this, which I thought was the handle of something. It's actually quite heavy, and look, it's got lots of holes on the underside, or is that the top perhaps? So let me know if you've seen anything like it before. I feel intrigued by it, so I'm hoping that some of you might recognise it. Let me know what you think it is. And then a couple of other pieces, so a small piece of pipe stem, found a couple of small bits so far. And then this, which looks like it could be, it's got a bit of colour on it, so I'm not sure if it's a sort of homemade piece or if it's part of an old tile or something. I really love that hint of the colour glaze there, so it's one of my favourite pieces so far. So look what I've just stumbled on. This is lovely, isn't it? Just poking out in the clear water here. And look at it. What a shame it's not complete, because it is one of the things that I'm most excited to find. So getting closer. There we go. Look at this absolutely lovely thing that we found. So it's not the normal sort of thing that we would find, but Ryan's just dug this up. And it's a beauty. We're really pleased with it. So it's an old lamp of some sort. I'm not sure what it would have been used for, but it's actually in really good condition. It says Greenham there on the outside. I think it says it around actually. I'm not sure that it's got any more writing on it. But look at it. So yeah, that's a definite beauty, one that we'll take home with us. And I'll just catch you up on a few other things that I found. I was just going along this this bit here just by eye to see what I could find before I took the bucket along. So there's this. This is in the what a shame pile, because it's just got that top broken off, which we couldn't see when we dug it up, but that's a Patterson's Glasgow bottle. I actually think we found one like that before, and it's camp coffee. That's a shame. And then there's a few bits and bobs here, so some nice pieces of pottery, the bottoms of things, bottom of a teacup, which I always like, some handles it looks like, so this is an old handle, and then an old sort of clay. I mean, I guess that was a handle of something, but I don't really know. I'm going to try and do a bit of research on these, because I often find things like that and I don't know how to sort of date or identify them, so I will try and brush up on that a little bit. And then a couple more bits of pipe stem. And this little piece of pottery, which has just got the hint of a pattern there, look, so it's a shame that that's worn off. And then it's all being stored at the moment in this, which we've also just dug up from the muddy depths. So would have been magnificent, I'm sure, in its time. I can't see any pattern or writing or anything on it, but isn't it brilliant? So yeah, a few things to find. I'm going to take the bucket along now, so I'll film as we go and we can see how well it works. A nice piece of, I love finding this sort of pottery, and I wouldn't have spotted it otherwise. I will brush up on my technique of going in and picking things up and filming as I go. Need more hands. Oh look, can you spot that little tiny piece of blue and white? Yeah, I can just leave that in there. Does that work? Yeah, it does. Rolling away. So I've got my phone in the glass bottom bucket and I'm filming you as we go up, so it's actually quite good to be able to just see a little bit clearer. Just the bottom of something, that's a shame. Get that out of the way. quite intriguing, isn't it? Hey, you've got a good view there, because I actually have pretty much, so hope I'm not going too fast. Okay, let's head up a bit. With looks like a bit of clay bottle or something. Oh, what's this? Look, that looks great on there actually, doesn't it? It's a big lid of something. Brilliant. So I'm going to just go and put my collection down a little bit, use the bucket a little bit longer. I think it works, which is brilliant, and I hope you enjoy it as well. And we'll see what else we can find. So look, we quite often find old shoes. This one must be a small woman or a sort of child, I'd say, from the size of it. Look at it. That's great, isn't it? That's people's history right there. So I like to find those. And also Ryan has just spotted another one of these. He's dug this out. It wasn't just led here like this. He's left it for me to show you. Another one. Like, isn't that odd? They're really heavy. It says on this side, I reckon that's Southwest Gas. So how they've ended up here, I do not know. But still, what an interesting thing to find. Just a quick catch up on a few things that I've pulled out by eye. So there's not as much sort of blue and white pottery here that I'm used to finding, but lots of the sort of clay and ceramic stuff. Look at that at the bottom of a plate, I'd say. This is just the remains of a blacking bottle. You can just see the words there. It's a shame there's not more of that. The clay piece looks like, I don't know, is it a tile or something? Oh, it's got a bit of a round shape to it. This, I'm sure, is has got some sort of design on it that's just worn down. I could be wrong. And then this, which is just, I can't tell what it was, but look at the size of it. It's absolutely huge. So I might not take all of these pieces home, but they're interesting, aren't they? It just sort of tells a bit of a story about the area. So I'm going to use the bucket again on another area just a bit further up. I'll bring you with me for some of it and give me some feedback. Let me know what you think, whether it works for you to kind of watch through it or not, and we'll see how it works. So this area looks particularly interesting. I can see lots of shapes and things that I want to sort of check out a bit more. So I'm going to use my bucket and we'll see if it is anything interesting. Yeah, it's the bottom of another jar there. I think it's a Hartley's one, isn't it? Yes, it is. Smaller one actually, so that's quite nice. And then I think I see there, is that a bit of pipe stem? Yes. Yes, it is. I would never have spotted that. Sorry, I apologise, that's made it very murky for you, hasn't it? That's just the bottom of an old, I'll show you actually, look. But yeah, it's quite broken. So I'm just going to get it out of the way. I think that's just a bit of slate actually. Look at this really lovely piece of green pottery that I've just found, that really beautiful glaze on it. Here's another bottle find. Screw top and the sort of dimple effect there. So I think it was a soft drink. We think it might actually be Lucozade. But there's no reason to think that. That was just our view. So yes, lots of glass bottles here, which is great. None quite as exciting as last time, but some really nice ones. I love the Tizer one. This one's pretty nice actually. I like the shape and design of this one. And now we're just going to head back up towards the bridge and see if there's anything else that we can find heading up through the other way. So as we head up, there's another bottom of a shoe here, this time with the heel plate again. So we found a couple of these now, and I just love them, aren't they great? Hello, so we've just walked back upstream and we're just under these bridges now, which you might recognise if you've seen my previous video here. Just found this bottle on the way up as well, which is nice. There's no name or maker or anything on it, but it's a nice little shape, full up of junk. But I quite like that for my collection, little screw cap there, so I'm going to take that one home too. So it's a bit easier to come up the other side of the bridge than it was last time, and Ryan's just found this beauty. So this is another cod bottle. We found our first complete one of these ever just the other day. This one isn't, it's been smashed. My guess is for the marble, which is a shame. But look at it, it's a local one, so it says CE Beavis along the top, and it's got a really great logo there. It's like a windmill, hope you can see it, and then it's got Bristol at the bottom, and it's got some writing on the back as well, which I can't quite work out at the moment, but I will try and have it cleaned up a little bit. So I know it's broken. We don't usually sort of keep the broken ones, but I'm going to keep that one because I really like it. So I was just on my hands and knees for ages under a bush trying to get this out, and I'm gutted that it's broken because the effort that went into it, but there you go, that's how it works, I suppose. So this one says Cochrane along the bottom and then Cantrell on the back, so maybe you guys will know what that was. So a shame that it's not complete. So we just found this, which is actually an old animal leg trap, I think. I found sort of the remains of one of these before, and you guys gave me the name of it, which I can't remember just at the minute. But it's too far gone to be sort of used or anything. It's rusted away. But there you go. It's just been pulled out of the river. So this is definitely an absolute first for us. I'm sure you can see what it is. The remains of a gun. I can't sort of tell what type, but all I know is it's really heavy, and I'm guessing it's really old. So we are going to report it to the local police just so that they know that we found it. Although, I mean, it's probably not enough left of it to be any danger to anybody, but it still feels like the right thing to do. But actually, I'm quite pleased that we found this. Isn't it interesting? How is it here? You know, what's happened to it? So yeah, that's another great relic of today. So we've had a whole mix of things today, some really interesting and unusual stuff, loads of bottles, a few bits of pottery, but look at this beauty. A really nice pattern and shape, so I'm going to take that home and sort of try and clean it up a little bit. Still with the handle on it, look, isn't that lovely? And here's another beautiful piece of pottery with the willow pattern on, and look, you can just still see the beautiful shape of it. It was obviously magnificent in its time, and enough of the picture there just to give you that sense of wonder at how brilliant it probably was. I love the patterns and the pictures on these blue and white willows. So yeah, another one that I'm going to keep. I'm really pleased with that. Another lovely piece of pottery. Look at this, the bottom of an old sort of pot. Maybe it was even a bottle, I don't know. Do the bottoms look like that? I just really love that. I'm going to keep that. I know it's not much, but it's got a really pleasing sort of shape, hasn't it, and design to it, and you can sort of see how it was made, so I like that. Look at this little delight that I've just popped out. Isn't it great? That's definitely one to give a clean and add to the collection. So I know this is broken, but I thought it was interesting because I don't think I've ever found one of these before. It looks like a cocktail glass. And look, you can still see some of the lovely sort of design that it would have had on it. What a shame that it's broken, because wouldn't it have been fun to have found that complete? I definitely would have kept that. But as it stands, I'm just going to move it out the river and get it out of the way. So I've just been scrabbling around underneath a thorny tree because I could see bottles. And these are them. These 3 came out, and a broken ketchup bottle. So these are only sauce bottles, I think. There's nothing sort of particularly special about them, no names or anything. But it's always nice to be rewarded, isn't it, with a hard work dig to get something complete out. So here's another bottle that we've just pulled out. It's still actually got half of a broken cap on it. But look at it, it's a really nice shape. It's got, I don't know if you can see, it definitely needs to clean, but it's got this nice kind of design on it with a little bit here that you could obviously have a label or whatever. And then when we turn it over, it's actually a Heinz bottle, made in Canada. So the first one of that type that we found, so we're going to keep it for that reason. It's actually quite a pleasing shape, isn't it, in design. So we've had absolutely tons of bottles today, so that's really good news. A few bits of pottery. And we've been here for hours. The sun's just really starting to come out now, as you can see, which might help us see a few more things. So we're going to keep going, and I'll keep you posted. So Ryan's just had another interesting find. This piece of leather, look, which has obviously been hanging around for a while. It's pretty old, but it's a really intriguing shape. So I don't know if anyone can help me identify what it would have been used for or part of. I'll get you the best shot. There you go. Isn't that interesting? Who knows? So we just found a couple of nice pieces of pottery there. One with a nice pattern on, and I can see a couple of other intriguing pieces here. The water's so clear here, you can see the little fishes swim by. Look, that's really nice, isn't it? I don't think I've ever found anything like that before. It's really textured, actually. Nice, I like that. I think I can spot a clay pipe stem. Yeah, look, a really small, narrow one. And there was something else that I was interested in over here. What's this? Oh yeah, that looked like glass, but it's not. It is rock. That's rock. Let's have a look a little bit further up. See if we can find anything else. Another bit of clay pipe stem there, look. Only broken piece. I do keep them all, actually. I've got a little collection of them now, which is quite nice. Oh, look, this looks like a bottle. I can see a couple, actually. Let's see if they're anything interesting. Sorry, I know the glitter's probably a bit bright there, so you might not be able to see what I can see. That's got some writing on the bottom. I can't quite work out what it says, actually. But that's nice, isn't it? And I think I can see one over here as well. Oh, just the top, look. In fact, is this the rest of it, or is this a different one? Oh look, that's the rest of it. It's a shame, isn't it? What did that say? Fanyan sauce. How intriguing. I might see if I can find out anything about that. It's a shame that that was broken. But there we go. So I might have a little look around here, actually, just see in this murky bit if there are any more bottles or anything, and I'll let you know what I can find. Spotted, I think, another bottle, so I'm going to go in. Yeah, look. Oh, that's pleasing, isn't it? A little small square one. I don't think I can see any name or anything on it, but I do like the shape of that one quite a lot, actually. Do what colour it is. I'm going to give it a clean up and I'll let you know. So they're still coming out. I mean, there's just tons here. It's definitely going to be worth kind of following it up that way as far as we can. But we will not have time to do that today. We'll see how it goes. So there you go. I'll let you know what else I can find. So just found an interesting little piece of pottery, the bottom of an old bottle or a pot, I'd say. And it's got some writing on it, just the remainders of what would have been a logo. So I'm guessing that word is industry. And that looks like product or producer, maybe. So if anyone can identify that for me and what it would have been, let me know. So a quick catch up, just a few nice pottery pieces. This has got a lovely pattern on it, look. And then this, which has got, I'm not sure if you can see the colour there, but it's got a lovely blue glaze on it, which is really pleasant. And then this looks like the handle. Sorry, I can't see it, it's my welly. This looks like the handle of something, I'm guessing. Not sure what this is. I think I found something similar to this before and I thought it was off a trap, but not sure. Intriguing though. And then this lovely piece, which is obviously the bottom of something marvellous. Can't see a pattern on it, but it's got a really nice sort of textured inside with the shape. So I quite liked that. And then this lovely little, looks like a medicine bottle, doesn't it? So we've had a few metal finds here again. So we found another one of these. We found one of these last time actually, a huge horseshoe, which I'm going to use as good luck. Although one of you did say that they were sometimes used at burial sites of witches, so they didn't come back up again. But to me that just adds to the intrigue. So this is really interesting. This is so heavy and it's got a sort of metal on the end. It looks like it's been used to beat something. I'm sure you can see the marks there. And that metal on the end hasn't rusted. So not sure what that means in terms of what it is. It's really heavy. It's obviously a tool of some kind. So let me know what you think that is. I'm going to keep it actually, just because it's interesting. And then two of these pieces that were potentially from a sort of fence or gate bucket handle maybe for the smaller one. So we've had a whole mixed bag today and we found absolutely tons of stuff. Some really good bottle finds. You can see the best ones there. And I think we're probably going to call it a day now. We've been here for hours. And the flies are just starting to head towards us, so I think that's probably a sign that we need to leave. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm going to take loads of photos of what we found. We've found absolutely tons we're taking with us, but we've been a bit ruthless and some of it we'll have to dump on the way, so in a bin obviously. So we'll clean up as we go a little bit as well. I hope you've enjoyed it. As I've said before, do look me up on Twitter. I'm at Lucy Larking. And my Facebook page is Lucy's Larking Adventures, so do check me out there. And I'll see you on my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.